It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file. From Fantha Tracks TV, this is Good Morning Tatooine!
Good morning, Tatooine. Indeed, we're back once again with your weekly recap of everything Star Wars and Lucasfilm. I'm your host, Brian Cameron, and with me as always, Mr. Paul Naylor.
Evening, Bri. Hope you're well, my friend.
I'm very well indeed. Are you all set for Santa coming?
Am I? Well, we finally got the Christmas tree lights up in the other room, so yeah, we're there. And I went to do the big shop.
I haven't done the Christmas tree yet. Christmas trees, I do Christmas tree on Christmas Eve.
Hey, if you haven't done your big shop yet, it's ridiculous this year. There was a bloke in front of me. He'd only just got the one trolley, came to over £500. I mean, what on earth? That is crazy.
Working in food retail, yeah. I understand this. This
you
coming
totally
week will be ridiculous. No, we do not have what you want in stock. What is in stock is what's on the shelf. We're not secretly hiding things away. That's all I can say.
We're not hiding the bird within a bird within a bird.
We're not keeping the turkeys behind for anybody. If we've got one, they're out on the shop floor.
Here's a gun. There you go.
Oh dear. It's gonna be that nightmare week of the year once more for sure.
Are you expecting a white Christmas up your way?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the forecast to be honest. We had a white Christmas last year, which was the first one in a while.
Yeah, I don't think we've got one here. There have been rumours of white Christmas in the UK, which normally means right at the tip of Scotland, which is where you are.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to get it 2 years on the bounce.
Ideally, I don't like a white Christmas because I've got quite a drive to go for my Christmas dinner, so I could do without having to drive through the snow.
Well, make sure you don't have too much to drink.
I always get breathalyzed on Christmas Day. And,
do you?
I can't speak about it, but I did have a run-in with the police this week that I was telling Paul about before the show started. Can't talk about it because I may end up in a court case. But I could do without another one on Christmas Day. But traditionally, I get stopped in the same lay-by every year, and my tyres checked, my exhaust checked, and my alcohol level checked.
Good grief. Yes, we had a bit of a chat at the beginning of the show. Folks, the beginning of the show bit before we come on air is always the most entertaining bit. Unfortunately, there's no Star Wars in it, so we can't do that.
No Star Wars. No Star Wars content. But we have got lots of Star Wars content coming up. Look at that slick link. Should we see what we've got coming up on the show, Paul?
Let's go for it, Bri.
On tonight's show, first up, we're going to be talking Harrison Ford. He's getting a Lifetime Achievement Award from SAG-AFTRA. What's he achieved in his life? We'll find out.
He's had more than one life, surely. He's been around that long now. Empire Magazine, they've named Andor as the TV show of 2025. Brian has other thoughts.
I do. Principal photography has wrapped on Star Wars Starfighter. We'll be discussing that.
And then on this very day, 13 years ago, Lucasfilm was sold to Disney. Unlucky for some.
Dan Gilroy's been talking Andor and in particular his Mon Mothma speech that he wrote, and he talks about how he revelled in it, and so we'll be discussing that and more.
And Coruscant's real-world home, the Barbican, is to close, and it's going to have a year-long revamp to the tune of £191 million. Not dollars, £191 million. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of brickies.
It is.
And talking possible lawsuits, Lucasfilm have won theirs over the use of the likeness of Peter Cushing in Rogue One.
And Droid Factory are releasing some special astromechs for the Valentine in February, on February the 14th. It's nice that they've got those in the shops while we're still waiting for Christmas to happen.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you love me, you won't get me one.
No.
And last but not least in the news front, Sideshow Collectibles have their MagnaGuard 6-scale figure from Hot Toys out. We'll be checking that out if you're looking for
goody.
a last-minute Christmas purchase. And So lots to discuss there, Paul.
Yes.
Should we
yes.
crack on and check out the first story?
Let's dig our teeth into Harrison Ford, so to speak.
Let's do that indeed. Harrison Ford. Just to point out as well, because I know I'll really upset Mr. Newbold, check out the spelling in that title for Receive.
I before E, except after C, man.
Yeah, terrible amateur stuff there. A nice person would have told them before the show when he'd spotted it, but sometimes it's best to keep it for the live show. So he won't be winning a Lifetime Achievement Award anytime soon unless he backs up his spelling. But Harrison Ford, there we go. Damn it. Spelt correctly, well done.
Is that the correct spelling of damn it?
Harrison Ford is a recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award at SAG-AFTRA. And I presume he's also got some spelling awards too. On Sunday the 1st of March on Netflix, we'll see the award handed out at the 32nd Annual Actor Awards. And he spoke about receiving it. He says, "I'm deeply honoured to be chosen as this year's recipient. To be acknowledged by my fellow actors means a great deal to me. I spent most of my life on film sets, working alongside incredible actors and crews, and I've always felt grateful to be part of this community." So, congratulations, Mr. Ford. What do you think of that, Paul?
Oh, brilliant. I mean, we're in a time now where film stars of Harrison's magnitude are more likely to go into TV work as well. That never used to happen. Let's be honest, years ago, if you were a film actor, you were never going to be in TV. But ever since streaming came about and the better money would be involved, then they've been more inclined to work in TV. So it's through his TV work, obviously, that he's got this award. But what are your favourite roles that Harrison's done over the years, other than Star Wars?
Air Force One.
Working Girl.
I just love Air Force One. It's one of the action movies that requires an action hero who doesn't look like a muscle-bound action hero. And so Harrison Ford's perfect for it. And obviously I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. Probably a bigger Indiana Jones fan than I am Star Wars, to be perfectly honest.
Yes, I've picked that up before from you, yeah. For me, I mean, one of my favourite things would be Blade Runner, the first Blade Runner. I thought that such dark tones, and it was just something completely different from what he did with Star Wars and Indiana Jones. But I think that there aren't many actors of that calibre that can pull off being as famous as Han Solo and as famous as Indiana Jones without you sort of like being pulled out of the film whenever you see each of them.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So all credit to him for being able to do that. And like you, I'm a massive Indiana Jones fan. Probably more Star Wars than Indiana Jones. But I mean, what would either of those franchises be without him? Well, we know that Indiana Jones would have been Magnum PI. So thankfully we have Harrison. So yeah, it's a nice nod to somebody that's in the latter part of their career. The Dog in the Life of Pets 2. Well, there you go. He's outdone us.
He does. We'll see if he acknowledges that role in his lifetime acceptance speech.
What about the boss in Anchorman 2? There you go. I'll go with that.
He's very good in that. He's had a storied career. I would argue to say that he had quite a rough patch for a while, where he didn't really have many films come out. Well,
it took a while to get going, didn't it, as well? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he was 35 when he did Star Wars, so he got quite some history leading up to that. He was a roadie for the Doors. He was obviously a carpenter. And then he was somebody that was just in charge of feeding lines to actors when they were casting people. But in the end, he did such a good job. He landed the role.
Very appropriate that he was a carpenter at Christmas time, isn't it?
He's my favourite Christmas carpenter, definitely.
I think. I have a lot of respect for Joseph like the Joseph and Mary story. Because, that guy's, out of everybody in the Bible, that guy's got more faith than anybody, isn't he?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
But, yeah, we'll not dig into religion too much.
Let's not go there.
And we'll move
Let's not
on
go
to
there.
the fact that Empire Magazine has named Andor as their TV show of 2025.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I do agree. Yeah. I must admit, I don't watch a lot of TV. I really don't. I'm more likely to be watching YouTube than I am the latest drama on ITV or BBC. Yeah, I thought Andor season 2. The season 1 was amazing. Season 2 was another level. It was just, again, I've said many times, Andor is a quality drama with a very thin veneer of Star Wars associated with it. It's not like any other Star Wars project that I can think of. Very much aimed at an adult audience and has been widely very well received by the fan base and critics alike. And yeah, I'm not surprised that it's won the TV show of the year. But you have other ideas.
Mr. Newbold quickly just making the comment that Harrison Ford was quite the late bloomer. He can hung a door as well. Did he do that when he was roadie for the Doors?
You might have done. You might have done.
Andor, described by Empire Magazine, is arguably the best thing the franchise has ever produced. Just to put it in context, some of the other shows in their chart: Severance at number 6, Pluribus at 7, White Lotus at 8, Stranger Things at 15. My shout for show of the year is Pluribus, because it's so unique. And strangely, it's so like my life. It feels like it could be my own personal story at times. I love it. I think it's phenomenal. And yeah, it's a special TV program. Andor was very, very, very good.
It was.
But I think Pluribus is next level. There's Mark as well, making fun of the fact that Empire Magazine misspelled Lonnie in the article. People that misspell, eh? But yeah, Empire TV show of the year, Andor, as we spoke last week, he got a nomination as well.
That for an Emmy, wasn't it?
It wasn't an Emmy, it was, what was it? Golden Globe.
Golden Globe.
So yeah, it's getting acknowledged, which is always good, because Star Wars is one of these franchise properties that doesn't get acknowledged very much. So hats off to it. I don't think it was TV show of the year, but I think it was up there.
For me, it was definitely TV show of the year. So come on, Andor.
What about the celebrity traitors?
Celebrity traitors? I've never watched an episode of Traitors.
See,
Never.
you're missing out. It's up there with Andor.
Look, if Alan Carr ever ends up in Andor, let me know.
That could be Alan Carr right there.
That could be.
Principal of photography and Star Wars Starfighter is complete. And to mark the occasion, director Sean Levy posted that to his Instagram.
And we were speculating before the show where that might be. And you think it might be the latest part of the tube, the Elizabeth line?
So the Queen Elizabeth Overground, ironically, this is underground.
Yeah.
But it'll have service tunnels. And if it was, this isn't a typical kind of thing you see in London. It's more an LA kind of thing, these kind of service tunnels. So it could be in LA. But I'm just looking at the overhead cables. Looks very much like you would see in the London Underground. At
the base of the track,
And it's very clean. I know it's a black and white photo, but it's very clean, which means it's quite new. Because nothing in the London Underground's clean.
I'll tell you what it's giving me, though. It's giving me THX 1138 vibes.
It does, yeah. And that's what makes me think it might be somewhere like in California. But, that holes in the wall, ventilation holes, you've got like the electricity cables, like for an underground above. You've kind of not quite got a track, but a route. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking small 4x4 service vehicle tracks. So that's what I'm thinking it is.
I think you're probably right, but it is a very sort of sci-fi looking piece of terrain, isn't it? So I mean, they've chosen that well. If that appears in the film in some form, that would be quite cool.
Yeah. Posted it with the tag of "That's a wrap, heading into Starfighter post-production like," and he's parkouring the way around the corner there.
Oh dear.
So we now just have to wait until the 28th of May 2027.
It just seems so long away, doesn't it? I'd have thought in this day and age, surely they could get that done ready a lot sooner.
I could have it ready next week. Get their finger out. Holidays. They're all demanding holidays this week. That's why they managed to wrap on time, is because they've got Christmas coming up and they all want to get home.
They got to get the shopping done.
That's true.
They'll be around at your place, knocking on the door. Any turkeys? Any birds within a bird within a bird within a bird?
Yeah, that kind of rubbish. Don't be phoning this week, people. Stay away. Talking about passage of time. 13 years to the day, this very day, the 21st of December, that Disney acquired Lucasfilm. The announcement made back in October of that year, but the transaction actually concluding on the 21st of December, which I'm always very anal about every year. Report it correctly. When people post in October, this is the anniversary. And then by no, it's not. Yeah, here we go. There's a fact that 99% of the news sites get it wrong. Disney didn't buy on the 30th of October 2012. They bought on the 21st of December 2012.
Now, you've insisted on that being in there, haven't you?
Absolutely. Because you're going to get it right. You're going to get it right. And bought for a mix of shares and cash. Made George Lucas a very rich man, plus holding shares that have since gone up in value, so even more richer man. What's your general thoughts?
I was just going to ask you that. So at the time I remember thinking, fantastic. There's going to be more Star Wars. So that for me, that forget who had bought it, how much it had gone for, whether George was right or wrong to do it. At the time, the first thing that was obvious was that we were going to get new Star Wars. And I think they pretty much announced around at that time that they were going to be looking at episodic and standalone films straight away were mentioned.
Yeah.
And I think TV was mentioned straight away as well. Or did that come a bit later? That might come a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it meant that we were going to get some new content. Then as the dust settled, and as the years wound on, I don't know. There's been some peaks and there's been some troughs along the way. I love Rogue One. I don't understand how anyone can not love Solo, a Star Wars story. I think it's brilliant. Force Awakens, I watched this weekend to celebrate its 10th anniversary. Love that film. Not too keen on 8 and 9, as we're all aware. I would still like to see more standalone films. I know Starfighter is being reported to be a standalone film. I suspect if it is very good and if it goes down well, that it might, in its own right, spawn sequels or maybe a TV show or whatever. But overall, it's been better to have more Star Wars content knocking about than it hasn't. Some of the TV shows, Mandalorian sort of rescued Star Wars for me in a way, certainly in seasons 1 and 2 anyway. I quite like the Book of Boba Fett. Ahsoka's great. Not a fan of the Acolyte. It's a mixed bag really, but then I think if you say that you love everything Star Wars, then you can't really love everything that's Star Wars. There's got to be things that you do like and you don't like. Yeah, Mark, I've been meaning to mention it for a while. But I think one of the interesting things that did come out, and I'm sure you'll back me up on this, I think I'm right in saying that not long after George sold it to Disney, he tried to buy it back.
Yes, so the rumour goes, However, I always question this because it's based around the fact that obviously they didn't want to proceed with his treatments.
That's right. Yeah.
But JJ was brought in December before the deal was actually signed and concluded. Yeah. Now, it would have been apparent at that point that they weren't going to do George's stories. So George would have had the chance to back out at that point.
I think he was definitely a bit, well, to put it mildly, disappointed at that decision.
He was upset, I think, that it didn't go with his treatments, but I think he also kind of, in part, understands that's filmmaking. And he almost said that to himself, that, it's like, well, I think he used quite an offensive description, but basically, did he say something like selling his children to the slavers or something like that? Which upset some people. It didn't upset me. I knew precisely what he meant. But I think he kind of upset, not happy for a period of time, but I think then generally accepted, look, it's not mine anymore.
Yeah.
And I think it probably took a lot of pressure off him. Because he actually spoke about, his responsibility to the number of people employed by Lucasfilm and ILM. And,
yes, yeah.
And that was always a burden upon him, that if he made more Star Wars himself, you're always betting the company effectively, the kind of budgets you're talking about.
Yeah. I think one of the decisions that's kind of knocked me a bit, and I'm sure was the same for a lot of people, when they started to prepare Galaxy's Edge. And I understand why Disney did it this way, because if they're going to use characters of the likeness that they've brought on board rather than ones that are historic and therefore might owe George an extra book or two for, that they went with like the sequel look at Galaxy's Edge at Batuu. Whereas I would have preferred something maybe like Mos Eisley. Spaceport would have been cool with Rhodians and Ithorians walking around.
If they could make the decision again, I think they would do a familiar setting rather than a new setting.
I think they would,
the fact that they chose a new setting was because I think they thought it was going to be grander than what they ended up doing it with. It was going to be a fully immersive world with all these in-world characters, and then they realised the cost of doing that against the financial reward of doing that. So their expectation levels of what it was going to be was wound back massively. Yeah. Because you've got all sorts of little elements, if you read the connected literature, to do with that space. Little things on the walls and little things on the ground that all tie into the stories.
It's clever stuff.
That are incredibly irrelevant if you just walk around the place.
Yeah. It's clever if you want to sort of like dig deep into the mythos of it all, I suppose. I mean, for me, probably the biggest and saddest aspect over the last 13 years has been what happened with the Halcyon and the whole Star Cruiser ride.
Disney have at times been arrogant about what they bought.
Yeah.
And they believed in themselves more than they realised the value of what they actually had. That their new content could be respected and regarded as high as the original, and I don't think it necessarily is. In 10, 15, 20 years' time, the people that were brought up in that will perhaps be the more predominant voice and attitudes will change. But I think Disney's biggest mistake has been focusing on acquiring new fans and forgetting about the existing fans. And forgetting about the existing fans to the point that you offend them.
Yes.
And that was a massive mistake. Massive, massive mistake.
But that's
they're still struggling to recover from.
That's as true in Star Wars as it is in DC and Marvel.
Yep.
They all seem to get it wrong.
Your
they
first
seem to
priority
alienate their fan bases.
Yeah, your first priority always must be is to take your existing fan base with you, then build on top of that. Disney's attitude seemed to be, let's find a new fan base.
Yeah.
And I still to this day don't understand why they took that attitude.
Correct. Yeah, it should first and foremost retention.
I don't think they understood the power of fans of our generation when it came to buying the content, buying the products.
I agree.
And I think they thought it was 10-year-old boys that were buying all this content. Because that was the other strange announcement at the time. They announced it that they were buying it because they had girls franchises that they did really well in, but they didn't really have boys franchises, and it would go very well alongside the Marvel brand. But if you go to Star Wars Celebration, it's almost 50-50 parity between male and female attendees. So did they even understand the audience of the product they were buying? I don't necessarily think they did.
And even more noticeable than the different male and female attendance is the age. I would say primarily it's people 30 plus at Celebration. You know, the original fan base has largely been ignored, and I think they're starting to listen.
I think
hope
so.
they are.
And we spoke about Andor and Andor winning awards. I think that's part of it. I think they have to realise as well, you're in a different world between how people of our generation consume content and how younger people consume content.
Yeah.
That content for the younger generation appears to be much more consumable, disposable.
Throw away.
Yeah. Where you and I will latch on to something. I don't think that's legal on YouTube. We kind of latch onto something and retain it, you know, and that's a generational difference. And I don't think they've respected or understood that as much. But I point out to the sheer fact as well that Disney buy assets and franchises or generate their own. Where do you see Mickey Mouse other than at a Disney park, or Donald Duck or Goofy? The Muppets, I know the Muppets are coming back next year, but they will acquire products and then fail with them, but they still have an outlet to make some degree of money from them, and that seems to satisfy them. So Disney, do they succeed at what they own? I kind of argue at times no, that they've probably got a bigger history of failing what they own than making it succeed.
You look at the content that we've had in that last sort of 12, 13 years. We've had so much Star Wars, you know, the toy market, the collector's market is more grown-ups, and I think that again they're starting to realise that as well. But we've had so many. We've had 5 films, countless TV shows, loads of animation, things that have been brought back. That we would never have had the sale never happen. So if you can pick 2 or 3 things out of it that you've really enjoyed, well then I suppose we ought to be grateful for what we've had. Yeah.
I think Disney also didn't understand the power of Skywalker sound in ILM. Yeah. I think that surprised them. They ditched LucasArts almost straight away, which I think was a massive mistake, because that was almost George Lucas's sandbox for experimenting in. And ironically, years later, Disney have paid billions to be in partnership with Fortnite, you know, and not even owning it, but just to be in a partnership with it. And now they're offering assets to AI companies, and it's just like, oh no. There's a lot of money to be made in gaming.
Yeah.
Arguably, it's more profitable than filmmaking. And you ditched one of the most respected studios in LucasArts.
Yeah, yeah. I think that just showed a lack of knowledge, lack of foresight. And I'm sure if they were honest, they would be saying that they regretted doing that.
Hi, Jonathan. Have a very Merry Christmas to you as well. I think that was one of their bigger mistakes. I think they've made lots of mistakes. There's been things we've debated before. I spoke on Collecting Tracks with Richard Hutchinson about the literature side of things, and as much as I didn't like the fact that they rebooted it, I kind of accepted it on the basis that I felt it was probably the right decision. So they had tough decisions to make. They've not always got it right. So it's been a mixed bag 13 years, I would like to think that Disney would hold their hands up and say, yes, it's been a mixed bag as well.
Yeah.
And they've destroyed Willow, which was their third franchise.
Totally destroyed Willow.
Arguably, they've severely damaged Indiana Jones as well. I don't necessarily think it was a bad film. I just think it was not what people expected.
I think there's some very likeable elements in that Indiana Jones film.
Yeah. But they've effectively ended that franchise, it feels like, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an odd
Do you
one.
think it's that the younger generation look at these characters like Indiana Jones, who Harrison Ford at the time would have been in his late 70s when he filmed that, and when they look at the likes of Han, Luke, and Leia in the sequel trilogy being that much older than they would have been, obviously, in the original trilogy, do you think that's a bit of a turn off for the kids?
I think the problem was with the younger generation. One, they can't listen. But two, if you want me to go on a rant about young people, two, they are dominated in their opinions by so-called influencers, who are in no way influencers. They are, in fact, replicators, because all they do is replicate what each other is doing.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. And then the people who aren't successful and famous want to be like them, and so they replicate them. There's no influence, because none of these... I've never watched a video on TikTok from someone talking about X film and then thought, oh, I really want to go and see that film. They're not influencing me because of what they're saying or doing at all. Not in any aspect. That I see these people going on red carpet events, going to all these promotional events, and none of it makes me want to buy that product or attend that film or watch that TV show. It's clout chasing, and it's just trash content.
But we come from a generation where we were taught how to think rather than what to think.
Yes.
I'll just put that out there.
That's a perfectly brilliant way to put it. That so-called influencers or replicators, as I like to call them,
replicants.
Yeah, replicants. they tell you what to think. It's just weird. You see them at Star Wars events, and you just look at them and you wonder why Disney have invited them.
Because they don't seem to be there for Star Wars, do they? It's
they're there for their own
massaging their own egos.
Yeah, so they can film a 30-second video and then post, look what I was doing, where I was at. But they'll tell you nothing about the product or nothing about what they saw, because that's not what's important. What's important is them and the fact that they're there.
Yeah.
It's the Kim Kardashian element of it. The world has changed, and let's all remember that why she became famous, and it's not something to be proud of. That's the simplest way to put it. So if that's what what influences you, good luck to you. Not for me. And Disney...
You keep making me cough. I have to keep muting.
Yeah, Disney, why'd you chase that? Now, this is what Disney should be creating, is content that you can be proud of, and then something like Andor, as we spoke about earlier. Dan Gilroy, one of the writers, talked about the pressure of writing Mon Mothma's iconic speech, a task he didn't take lightly. He revelled in it, he remembers. I got lost in it, I imagined it, I respected it. I wanted to make every comma and period proper and right. This was hallowed ground to me. It was a chance to express admiration for what it takes to truly stand up for something, to commit fully to a cause at great personal cost. There's nothing more important to me than someone who's willing to sacrifice themselves for a political ideal or a fight against the evil tendencies of our human nature. I bow to that. He gets it all wrong, because she was a multi-millionaire who used her own personal wealth to force her opinion upon others against the will of
You're
democracy.
going down your imperial route again, aren't you?
Against the will of democracy. People voted for Palpatine. Nobody voted for Mon Mothma. She couldn't achieve what she wanted through democracy, so she used her wealth to buy it. There we go.
Next week's show, folks, we'll be having Keir Starmer on us.
I've got a feeling that they'll wait for the Marvel actor reboot first to get fans used to an idea, then reboot Indiana Jones and Star Wars after that. I kind of think you're right, Paul. I think if you're going to do more Indiana Jones, they failed to build the universe that I think they tried to build with 5 by introducing Phoebe Waller-Green. Phoebe Waller-Green? Yeah. I think that's her
Waller-Bridge.
Waller-Bridge. Character who was many people thought was going to bring the franchise forward. I don't think that worked at all. No. So if you're going to do Indiana Jones, you have to put it back in the 30s and 40s and you have to reboot with a new actor.
Yeah.
Star Wars, the most successful Star Wars spin-off film was Rogue One, which was set around A New Hope. Andor, again, set around A New Hope. If you want to have success with Star Wars, you need to tap into what people love, and that's the original trilogy more than anything. And so you have to reboot that, and to do that, you have to have a Han, Luke, and Leia.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, they had Han, Luke, and Leia for the sequel trilogy, and they failed every single one of those characters and actors.
Yeah. What people are crying out for is the continuation after Return of the Jedi. So we need Han, Luke, Leia, and Lando.
Yeah.
And we've had various iterations of those that could be used more widely.
Jonathan's watched Andor again and clicked with him the second time round, so he's given it an 8 out of 10. Paul, if you could have improved Mon Mothma's speech, would you have added Palpatine to it?
I would have certainly liked to have seen Palpatine at some point. And after that speech, that would have been the perfect time for him to have turned up.
I would have liked to seen him come into the Senate and lob a Senate chair like he did at Yoda, but at Mon Mothma. That would have been epic.
That would have been something to see, definitely.
But, you know, if the man respects democracy, let her speak. That's all I'm saying.
I think in some ways it was quite brave choices not to include them.
It's a fair shout. Yeah, it's a fair shout. Continuing the Andor theme, Coruscant, which features heavily in Andor and as well as some of the other Star Wars TV shows, was filmed in and around the Barbican in London. And the news has come out that the Barbican's going to be effectively closing down and undergoing an extensive overhaul, renovations, totaling 181 million. That's a lot of bricklayers. And process is going to start in 2027 and expect to be completed by 2030. No idea how it's going to reshape or relook the Barbican. So if you're a fan of Andor, you might want to pop along and get your photos taken at the various locations next year before potentially viewpoints and angles and access has disappeared forever.
What they ought to do is get some of these people that are doing the renovations dressed up in sci-fi type clothes, so that as they're doing this work, we can then include it in any future sort of Coruscant imagery. So that, you know, they actually revamped Coruscant themselves. Fantastic. Get it done.
Good shout. As we fly by close to the legal front with some of my comments, it's worth pointing out that Lucasfilm do occasionally face lawsuits. And is that Natalie Portman in the IQ advert there?
It is, yeah, it is.
That's like an AI Natalie Portman, isn't it? That's
it is
horrendous. Excuse me, I get distracted. It's a shocking advert. If you recall, because we covered this on the programme, I think at the start of this year, the British company Tyburn Film Productions, whose owner was a close friend of Peter Cushing and had worked with Peter Cushing on a number of projects, filed a lawsuit against Lucasfilm, and the production company that made Rogue One, which was Lunac Heavy Industries, at London's High Court, for unjust enrichment at its expense, with the claim being that Tyburn had a contract with Mr. Cushing to be the first to resurrect him by ways of visual effects. Signed back in 1993, long before the concepts of AI and CGI and all that kind of malarkey were really thought of. Lucasfilm tried to get the case thrown out twice, but did actually manage to get to the Court of Appeal. But Judge Sue Carr ruled it's impossible to identify anything at all that belongs to Tyburn which can be said to have been transferred to Lucasfilm or Lunark, meaning the case could not continue. I think it's important to remember that Lucasfilm had an agreement with the estate of Peter Cushing to do what they did in Rogue One. So it all boiled down to whether the language in Tyburn's contract from 1993 was enough to nullify Lucasfilm's agreement with the Peter Cushing estate.
I do think that if the case hadn't been going on, we would have perhaps seen Tarkin in season 2 of
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
I think so.
So it's a shame this didn't happen prior to that being made, because we would have seen him, I think.
Mr. Newbold's going to make it legal. Jack's looking for your missed holiday photos.
Trust me, everything that you've seen on Facebook, that's everything you're getting.
I think it's worth pointing out at this point as well that you're actually going to see a lot of situations where actors, in their own lifetime, sell the future rights to their voice and likeness, whether it is to AI companies or equivalents. So especially actors with iconic looks or iconic voices.
Yeah.
There's going to be
James Earl Jones. Yeah, James Earl Jones was quite happy to do it, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. And because at some point, I imagine these people look at it and say, right, I'm not wanting to work anymore. I'm retired. Do you want to do stuff with my voice? That's a future revenue stream for me and my future children
estate
or family or
absolutely.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. Do what you want.
Yeah.
What interests me more is this deal that Disney have done with OpenAI for access to 200 characters. Is that OpenAI is going to be using the previous character designs and animated works of artists to create future AI equivalent models and designs. Those people are not going to get paid who originally animated these characters, for example, in the Clone Wars or Rebels.
Yeah.
Or who designed the costumes for Vader or, the artists and all that kind of talent. These guys are getting cut out of the deal. That bothers me. An estate or an actor selling their own likeness willingly, I don't have an issue with. And I don't actually have an issue with this lawsuit either, because I think Tyburn Film Productions genuinely felt that they had a case. And I think they genuinely had a strong and positive connection with Peter Cushing. And, it got all the way to the Court of Appeal. It got through the process. It wasn't dismissed at any stage, so it's like it wasn't dismissed out of hand. But I think it's very difficult to sign something in 1993 and have it applied in 2025 to do with technology. And you be able to prove that they had an understanding of what they were selling to you, and what they were selling to you covers what you claim it covers.
And what was going to come down the line 20, 30 years later.
Yeah. As Mr. Newell points out, how much would Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill make from selling their rights? And I think that's what it boils down to. At some point, you don't want to do conventions and sign autographs. At some point, you're not well enough to work. And you look at your children, they're Nepo babies, they do nothing, they're a waste of space. So you kind of think, you've got to make them some money. And the only way to make some money is when they're gone is they'll get a residual check from the AI companies. Is that life?
Well, if it means the kids can do nothing, good for them.
As Jack points out, AI is going to take over regardless what people scream and shout about. It is cheaper and easier. I've been using AI a lot over the past 6 weeks. And it is frustrating as a tool. It has great purpose and potential. But it's also stupid as anything. And you have to really speak to it like a child at times sometimes.
Yeah.
And it has its function. It's nowhere near the point that they're trying to sell it at as it sits just now.
Yeah.
It will be best used by highly skilled and qualified artists who use it as a tool within their creation of art. It'll never succeed on its own with Joe Blogs making something from it. It's going to be like, I can make a piece of artwork in Photoshop and I can make it look half decent. A skilled artist can take Photoshop and make something phenomenal. And it's going to be the same with AI. I could use AI and make something passable and acceptable. And true artists could use AI and make something incredible.
Yeah, it's a tool.
It's a tool. And I think that we have to get back to that point. People think it's going to... People are treating it like a replacement. It's not. And Mark makes a good point here. Someone needs to be sorted ASAP as AI will be good in 3 to 5 years to be able to bring any character back or look like anyone you like. I think there is issues with governments and the legal system are chasing the tail when it comes to AI. The AI companies are breaking the law, basically, and consciously knowing they're doing it and stealing people's content in order to train their AI models. Because once they're trained, you can't untrain them.
I think from an AI point of view, the entertainment industry is far less to worry about than maybe the political arena, where you could have deep fakes of people saying this, saying that, and starting another war.
Talking about deep fakes. But Jack, that does make a good point here that you could have Harrison Ford winning SAG-AFTRA then announcing he's selling his likeness, retirement life. It's very possible.
He needs to. I mean, what is he now? 82,
it's going to be
83?
the equivalent of artists selling their music back catalogues.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
And as Mr. Newbo's pointing out, we have an advert on our site that looks like Natalie Portman. We and she have no control over that. She looks fit, let's be fair.
Natalie South Portman.
Yeah. It's testing your IQ. If you think that's real, your IQ is very low.
Welcome to Fantha Tracks.
Welcome to Fantha Tracks. That's Google's fault selling out those adverts. Droid Factory have announced just in time for the 29th of December. Their Valentine's range will be on sale. Don't know why anyone's buying Valentine's on the 29th of December. That's taking a massive risk because you've got a whole solid 6 weeks to split up.
Ever the romantic.
Ever the romantic. So if you want a couple of Hackett-looking droids with a broken love heart, pick it up the December 29th. So you can't get it in time for Christmas. You can buy it after Christmas in time for Valentine's Day.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Mr. McHugh pointing out that at the Thank a Maker event in Fortinbridge, Neil Scanlon had a positive outlook on AI. And I think that's what's going to be most interesting when influential, powerful people in the industry like Neil Scanlon, how they look at it. Because he won't be looking at it as something that's going to replace. He's going to be something that can be used to speed up and enhance. And, you know, I think used in the right way, it can be done well. The strange and difficult thing is that the people who own the keys to AI at the moment tend to be the very rich and powerful multi-billionaires who often are not the nicest people in the world.
Exactly.
Anyway, if you are a billionaire, you probably collect hot toys. The Manga 6 scale figure from Hot Toys has been announced by Sideshow Collectibles, available for the precise price of £220.36.
So that probably translates to $199 or something like that.
You can order it now. It'll ship in October 2026 or any time through to March 2027. So if you want to fund the cash flow for a multi-billion-dollar organisation, order it now.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, it looks great.
It looks nice.
But,
it's not a consequential figure.
It's not. You're going to want two of those and a General Grievous in the middle, aren't you? So
you are. That's probably why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in picking one up?
No. If I was, I love what they do, but I would want something more iconic than the MagnaGuard. I'd want Stormtroopers and Vader, or 3PO and R2, Han and Chewie. I wouldn't want a MagnaGuard.
No. At this point, that's the end of the news. I give him a 10-second warning and Mr. Newbold to get typing out what he's got coming up on Father Tracks Radio this week. And I'll just get your thoughts, Paul, because we're fast approaching the end of the year. It's Christmas. Have you got anything Star Wars on your Christmas list for Santa?
I believe my daughter's bought me something Star Wars related. She says, I don't think you've got it, and I think you'll like it. So, who knows what that could be? I have no idea. No, I've not asked for anything specifically this time. What about yourself?
I asked Santa for Sydney Sweeney. Don't think I'm going to get it, because I haven't been good.
You're more likely to get Sydney Snot.
That's what I think is going to happen. Definitely.
Oh dear. Well, good luck with that one.
We'll see. We're back next Sunday.
We are.
So she might be on the show if she arrives.
That
might break the internet. But no,
yes, we decided we'd do a post-Christmas pre-New Year show. So yes.
I haven't asked for anything. I'm not expecting anything. Christmas, I like to be quite quiet in my house.
Yeah.
Because Christmas week's a nightmare week for me. So
I'm going to say that you're not going to have a Christmas tree up. It's not going to happen.
I was sneezing there. I haven't got a Christmas tree up at the moment, no.
I know. And you said that you might do it Christmas Eve.
Traditionally goes up on Christmas Eve because I always have a Boxing Day party. So I always think if it's not up, I'm going to get so much stick, so I have to.
Well, what time do you want us there?
It's invitation only.
Yeah. If ever you wanted to know whether you were a friend or a colleague, that was it.
That's very true.
Thanks.
Just a reminder from Mr. Newbold, Father Tracks Radio on Father Tracks Radio this week is making tracks 243. Their last show of the year because they're part-timers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got another show to come yet. And Planet Leia, episode 28 coming out on Friday, so your Boxing Day treat. So, quick reminder, tune in to Father Tracks Radio.
Hey, look at that, eh?
There you go. Little Fantha there. If you don't listen to the Fantha, who do you listen to, Paul?
Oh, well, speaking of which, I am recording another episode of Fantha Down Under with Adam as well this week.
Are you? What's it? Can you reveal the topics? Have you decided?
Not a clue.
So, on that bombshell, it's a Merry Christmas from me. And
it's a... Merry Christmas from him. Yeah. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, everyone.
Bye.
Keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news each and every day on FanthaTracks.com. You can also find us on Twitter Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, and Pinterest at Fantha Tracks. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow Fantha Tracks TV to be alerted to new content and to be a part of our live shows.